Good evening. Welcome to ES Champ. You have just tuned in to ProBots Day. Oh God, I forgot the day. Day 5, Day 4. Day 4 here in Season 1 of 2020. Joining me once again this week is the Doctor. Welcome back.
Hey,
You ready for some more ProBot action?
Dude, I'm so ready. I'm like bouncing up and down in my chair. My feet are like doing the wiggle right now. You can't see it, but like if I rotate the camera, you'll see like the. Anyways, you think there'll be an earthquake?
That's the hype we want to see. That's good. Hopefully, everybody, you are all excited as well because we've got some awesome games lined up. We've got 16 bots going head to head in our round robin format here. And again, this is day 4, so we've got a whole new round of setups. Here's our groups now, actually. Let's go ahead and take a look at Group 1. I'm assuming it's up now. We've got Tier versus CreepyBot coming up first. And we've also got Mech Sweep, Alert, Harvester, Straylock, GensiBot, and Spiny. A lot of good bots there. A few of which aren't on the ladder, but a lot of very high ranks on the ladder. GensiBot being second on the AI ladder currently, Tier being number 4th. So definitely some big competition in Group 1 here. Isn't your GensiBot? That's your pick, right?
GensiBot is my fave right now.
GensiBot's doing good. Did very good last week. Had a really strong win against who was it? CreepyBot. So that was a very fun one. But yeah, we've also got Group B. I didn't say it, but it's not on the screen anymore. That's fine. We've got Mad AI, we've got Micro Machine, Cinderblock, Three-Way Lover, Kagamine. I always say that wrong. Antibot, Additional Pylons, and Paul. 8 more very strong bots. Micro Machine is the first one on the AI ladder in that group, and of course last season's winner, or 2 seasons in a row, right? That sounds about right. Micro Machine, very strong bot. Expecting him to do very well, obviously, in this tournament. It's doing so well so far. I believe 3-0 is current record for Micro Machine, if I recall correctly. Anyway, we've got Group 1 coming up very quickly here, but let's go ahead and do some shout-outs. We've got some cool resources available. We even just did a fun little new video, a resource spotlight, or some StarCraft 2 tools that might be useful to you, the player. So go ahead and check out our YouTube channel for that. But you can also type in !community to get access to our forum. We've got a nice little forum there. You can ask questions about the bot making. We do weekly little posts when we're going live, what the bracket is. So a lot of up-to-date information there on the forum. Definitely check that out. You can also become a Crown Club member, one of the better ways to help support ES Champ and future seasons of ProBots, because I know you want to see more. We got to keep these bots growing, getting stronger and better. This is one of our best seasons so far. The bots are just so strong. What else we got? Oh, yeah, we got shout-outs. We're going to do some shout-outs throughout the stream here as well. Those Crown Club members, thank you so much for your support. We'll be sure to give you your just desserts here in a little bit. We can do a shout-out right now. Can we? I'm ready. Let's do a shout-out right now. You should tell me the name of the shout out so I can shout it out. Or wait, no, it shouts it out for me, doesn't it? And we're back. Awesome. Aaron McLeod, thank you so much for your support. We do have more Crown Club members, and we'll be shouting them out throughout the stream. So, again, thank you for that support. Type in !join once again to get access to that. You get cool little things too, like awesome priority seating at our finals. You get access to members-only room in the Discord. So a bunch of fun little perks for that. You can also just become a Twitch subscriber. If you haven't already, hit the follow button as well so you can get notified when we go live, because we do this every week. We've got 8 matches every single week. I believe we're doing 7 weeks in total, so about halfway through. This will be about halfway through tonight here. Oh, and that's it. I think we're ready. Are you ready for some bots? I'm ready for some bots.
I'm so ready.
Let's do it. That's what we all came here for. Let's dive into it. We've got Tier versus CreepyBot coming up first. That is a PVZ. Tier played very normally last week. A couple weeks ago, I believe you saw the proxy out of Tier, the proxy robo. And then last week, Tier just stayed at home, played defensively, managed to hold and push across and then take the win. Who did Tier play against? Straylock, yeah. Yeah, I remember. Drek was with me last week, so he remembers that. But yeah, Tier doing very, very well so far this season.
Tier playing normal is kind of like unexpected.
Yeah, kind of. I usually expect something. But... Yeah, we've seen Tier do massive depths. We've seen the Proxy Robo. We've seen Tempest. Tier can do just about everything. So I'm curious what we're going to see here.
In the bottom right, we got Creepy Bot.
Good old Creepy Bot. Creepy Bot's doing pretty good. Creepy Bot is very good at spreading creep. That is definitely one of Creepy Bot's strengths, I believe.
It absolutely is. I have to agree with that. It's a very good strength to have too, because bots are not always the best at dealing with creep. And to be honest, neither are humans. It's always like, it's kind of like giant backpacks, you know?
Yeah, Tier's our resident Thanos. He's here to smite everybody. Well, 50% of everybody, right? Or however that works.
Yeah, half of all life, you might just say.
Something like that. You know, Creepy Bot kind of getting some rough games these past few weeks. Last week went up against Gensi Bot, very strong, and then this week Tier. So getting those hard games out of the way, I guess, early on. Gives him some good material to work with to develop and upgrade what Creepy Bot does. What does Creepy Bot do? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, it spreads creep.
It's good at spreading creep. It's bad to reactions and has bad reactions to cheeses and all ins. And its main goal is to keep Mutalisks alive. So we might be seeing Mutas coming up here. We do have, is that a natural?
That was like pretty fantastic Mutalisk micro. He kind of like swarms everywhere and attacks. Like almost like superhuman Muta micro. Kind of reminds you of Brood War a little bit.
Where you have to have superhuman micro.
Yeah, with the Mutalisks, and you always pull the Muta away like right at the last second.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some of the Brood War control is so much harder. StarCraft 2 really made things smooth.
And I definitely have to agree with that. And there's a little bit lost there too, because Mutalisk micro is not. Oh, it looks like Probe went down.
There were some very satisfying micro moments I had in Brood War, just in some custom games and stuff like that, because it does really feel different, the micro. You have to, the pathing isn't as smooth, your units get blocked super easily. So, yeah, it feels good to be able to do that.
Yeah, and compared to human skill versus bots, it feels like StarCraft 2's like Brood War, and just like in comparison, just like how clunky and little we're able to do in comparison to what bots are able to do in StarCraft 2.
Sure. Well, we've got a third base before Spire. I don't think we even have a hive on the way yet, or a lair. I'm sorry, a lair on the way yet. Do we? Nope, not yet.
I don't see one. Third base before Tier even takes a second base, which is important to note. Generally going to indicate a very strong push, if not going all in.
I think this is the same build that Tier did last week. Just that sit at home with the Robo Bay, crank out the Immortals, get the Zealots for support.
Yeah, for sure.
And should be pushing across here. I am trying to remember if Tier ended up going for a second base or just, I think it was just a one base all in, if I recall correctly. Man, we'll see here. Doctor is a little low in the volume. That's what I thought as well.
Am I? Well,
is there any way to crank it?
Yeah, I can totally crank it. Just give me 1 second.
Crank it. Yeah, I had last week. My settings were cranked. Somehow got reset all the way up, so I was super loud last week.
Oh, really?
So apologies to everybody's ears for putting up with that. Hopefully it sounds better now.
I was just thinking, in comparison, you're the quiet one, so.
Oh, it's all about perspective. Here come the Zealots. Well, from Tier's perspective, this attack is looking good. From our perspective, I'd say this attack is looking good. A lot of Zealots, not a lot out. What is it? 32 army supply to 15 right now. CreepyBot isn't good at the all-ins and cheeses. It's got, it needs time. There's the Spire, but we needed that Spire like a minute ago, at least.
Yeah, for sure. There are 3 bases, so there is a bit of time before the Spire becomes absolutely necessary, but the Spire does take quite a long time to build. So because pulling drones right now to hold, not looking super great for CreepyBot, and I did crank up the volume just slightly.
Yeah, that sounds better. I can hear you better.
Cool.
Well, it kind of works. How many? I think a handful of workers went down. Just a lot of lost mining time, mostly. But again, this is a one base all in, so this does need to kill.
Yeah, it's got to do crippling damage.
Do mutas get out though? I think mutas get out.
Mutas probably will pop before he completely dies. The question is, what kind of transition is Tyr going to look for, and is it going to be able to do enough damage to just completely end it? Will it matter?
I think it's banking on the steamroll through with just the ground force. But again, one muta comes out, and this changes drastically. Those immortals, that one immortal specifically, doesn't have shields too, and it's about to start taking some heavy fire from the queens. Okay, third immortal coming in. Base goes down.
These queens are really putting in some heavy work. Perfect transfuse right before, right when the second the queen gets energy, transfuse goes down, bring queen's health up to not quite be in the danger zone.
There he is.
Looks like they're out of energy now.
The one muta to save them all.
He's on the way.
He's coming. Hold, boys, hold drones. Oh, he's going to lose a lot more drones here. They're doing some long distance mining. That hurts.
For sure, but even at 10 drones, he only has 2 bases now. This is starting to get to crippling damage zone. Can he save this base? If he doesn't save this base, oh boy, it's going to really hurt for his economy.
Yeah, he needs to keep at least one building alive for this muta to be able to go across the map and kill everything. Because no defense, still, no response to the mutas, just more immortals, more zealots. That's all we're going to see here, I think. So if somehow miraculously the muta can clean this up before the buildings die, which, yeah, I'm kind of starting to lean towards your prediction here. I think they're just going to barrel through and kill everything.
I mean, it very well could.
Come on, muta, you can do it. Shoot faster.
You got to believe, man.
I believe.
You got to believe in that fairy dust.
If only mutas could stim.
No, careful what you wish for there.
Technically, you could stim a muta. They're biological. If you could inject it with the same drug that the Marine takes, why not?
I'm just imagining mutas with like a little like vial of stim potion, like using their tiny little arm, their single appendage to like inject it into themselves somehow. It's very comical, at least in the way I'm imagining it.
Now, creep tumors do not count as buildings, correct?
That is correct.
Scenario,
For victory condition, creep tumors not count as buildings.
Ooh, +1 attack too on the way, but it does not matter. Tyr is going to take the win and secure himself a beautiful, I believe, undefeated record so far. Or did he lose one game? He might have lost one game.
I can't think of a game he's lost off the top of my head. He's been looking pretty strong.
We need that updated bracket here. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Tyr. Yeah, Tyr did lose one game at one point in time. I forget against who. I think it was in week 1, whoever Tyr went up against in week 1. Anyway, I digress. Good game. Well done. Next, we've got, what do we have? Terran versus our random player, our one random bot in the tournament. That is Alert, and that stands for something that I don't know. I forget. I think they told us last week, but I can't remember what.
This happens every week. We bring it up and we laugh our heads off every time we remember what
I just gotta say, it's not in my bot notes still, so I can only be held partially responsible for that.
No, so here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna tell us what it stands for, and we're gonna be like, no, that's not what it stands for, because this is the acronym where it starts with artificial, and then they just capitalize random letters throughout the sentence.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like, yeah, it was something totally random. You're right.
No. It's like, oh man,
something weird.
Chat's idea is way better. Artificial intelligence learning bot, like that actually very well could what it be. You just capitalize the right letters.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, we do have Alert coming up versus Mech Sweep, so we're gonna see a little Mech versus. I gotta say too, Alert has been Protoss every single week so far. We've got a different race this time. We're going into a TVT. It's gonna be great. Let's do it. We're moving on to World of Sleepers for our second match in Group 1 here on ProBots. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah. Every game. Be sure to refresh. There we go. I'm live. I'm ready. Raw tomatoes. What? God, I hope not. Oh, that's what ALERT. Wow, that actually does stand for that. Maybe.
Andy Man likes eating raw
like
tomatoes.
Raw tomatoes on hamburgers. Does that count?
So in the top right, we have Andy Man likes eating raw tomatoes, or Alert. for short.
Okay. That'd be so funny if that actually stuck for the.
Honestly, in my opinion, that's a better acronym than what it actually is.
Oh, was Alert Zerg once? Oh, okay, I mean, I thought Alert was Protoss always. I guess maybe week 1 or something. Alert was Zerg. So thank you for the correction, Yamabushi.
Yamabushi's always here, diligent to correct us when we're absolutely incorrect. And the bottom left, we got Mech Sweep in the blue, here to take out the trash with his broom.
Wait, you don't like tomatoes? You don't like raw tomatoes, bro?
He doesn't like raw tomatoes, no. Not like you do, at least.
I am going to grow a lot of tomatoes this year. Usually I have at least 2 or 3 plants, but I'm building a greenhouse right now in my backyard. And my plan is to make a tomato tree within the greenhouse. So it'll sprout up from the middle and kind of trellis over the top. And you can make like a canopy out of tomatoes. Anyway, back to StarCraft. We've got TVT. I love TVT personally. It's always a bit of a chess game. And it'll be interesting to see what Alert does. We haven't seen Alert as Terran yet, but we know Mech Sweep's going to go for Mech.
It's taking 2 gas, indicating probably a fast factory or
Mech as well.
Yeah, I mean, very well could be Mech.
Makes sense.
Two gas. I mean, so you can't ever 100% predict what a bot's going to do based on his opening, especially if it plays more than one race. Because the generic logic you got in place to make it capable of playing more than one race isn't necessarily optimized for a specific build order. The fact that he's got 2 gases this early will generally indicate a barracks, then a factory before expansion, but he's gone barracks, which is a little bit surprising to me. He's going to really stockpile up on gas. Looks like he's aware of it and actually pulled workers off of gas back onto minerals. And now back onto gas again. It went 1-1, then 1-3. So
Alert does change its mind kind of based on what it actually scouts. It uses a scoring system. I don't know how specifically the scoring system works, but it is able to calculate, enemy army and that kind of thing and try to figure out the best composition to go for in order to counter it. Oh, I'm getting little stutters here. Is that just me?
I think it might be just you.
I refreshed there just in case.
I was about to say. It's not looking super good for Alert. If your enemy in TVT gets the Reaper into your base before you have your own Reaper, it's absolutely a slaughter.
God,
like when Beyond streaming, like if he loses his first Reaper and his enemy still has a Reaper, like he'll just GG. Like I don't know if it's just for comedic effect. I think oftentimes it is. Like he's like, oh man, he had better micro than me, GG. It's pretty funny, but if the game were to continue, you would see something like this where the one Reaper just goes to town. And it's not looking super good because Alert needs to get a SCV to complete the second barracks or to start pumping out enough Marines to deal with the Reaper. One Marine against a single Reaper is going to do nothing. The Marine will die before the Reaper manages to kill it, and the Reaper will start healing up, and it'll just reset and repeat. So unless he gets that second barracks finished, you won't be able to get the critical 2 Marines you need to fight the Reaper, or just attack the Reaper with the SCVs.
Yeah, they're a little too skittish, I think, for that task. They don't quite know how to deal with this, and they are freaking out right now. That's so much lost mining time. These Marines, you've got one job. What are you doing?
I mean, looks like they're going down and getting stockpiled. If 4 Marines is definitely more than enough to deal with that Reaper, and he needs to deal with it soon. Otherwise, the critical damage will take place.
Get up there, Marines. Do your gerb. Oh, this is hurting. Yeah, I think Alert's just going to start to fall too far behind. Mech Sweep's already on 2 bases mining. And very far ahead, 20 workers ahead.
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal. We lost mining time, lost SCVs. If we hit Control R to see lost workers, it's going to be absolutely...
Well, this is a really good example of how the bots can kind of wig out a little bit. One Reaper has been able to disrupt the entire game for Alert. This game is, if it continues this way, which I don't foresee it changing anytime soon, this game is over.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Getting that one aggressive unit can often really put a hinder in the boss strategy.
What's the wrench in the gears or whatever?
The wrench in the gear. Like I'm gonna mix my metaphors. Put the snake in the under the counter deal.
I mean, that also sounds like it would be a bad idea. So it would just ruin things. Well, good idea for Mech Sweep, I guess, in this scenario. A couple Vikings coming out as well. Eventually, something else will push across. There are a couple tanks out. We saw this last week, just the nice little composition, the tanks, the Vikings for support. I think we even had a Banshee. No, I think I'm thinking of somebody else. But no, it's a nice little composition that mech sweep does. It's a little bit defensive, so you're able to sit at home for a little bit and then eventually push across and take it out. Yeah, go ahead and speed this up. Yeah. I feel like we're at a point where
this game's over.
Yeah, that alert can't come back. These SCVs are effectively done mining. They're quit. They're done.
If the Reaper were to spontaneously have a heart attack and die at this point, which it looks like he might have.
Not quite sure what just happened? Right when we speed up.
Like, speaking of having a spontaneous heart attack and die.
There goes the Reaper. No, I think he flew down. You can see a little damage to the Marine. He just went down into the Marine ball for whatever reason. He just decided this is too easy. I give up on life. What's the meaning anymore?
Well, he might actually have. No, 80 workers against 14. Like I said, even if he was going to spontaneously have a heart attack and die, like, he's not coming back from this. There's just too much SCVs, too much armory supply.
Oh, look at that though. I like that little counter units. It's kind of telling you. Well, it's not. It sees Marines. It sees siege tanks. That kind of thing. I need to counter those.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
Or no, I think it was saying it because it was saying Hellions. So I think it was saying it wanted to build Hellions to counter the Marines or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, very cool though. Nice little feature. All right, that's it for game number 2. We've got more games coming up. We're halfway through Group 1. We're almost halfway through our 7 weeks. I guess once we finish Group 1, we're exactly halfway through. So we're getting there. What do we got coming up next? ZVT Harvester versus Straylock. Should be a good match here. Let's pull up some information on these two bots while we get that game loaded up. So Harvester does decision making. I like the bots that are able to do that, kind of make little changes on the fly. I think it's a very strong feature for a bot to be able to have.
Yeah, I completely agree. At this point, some level, you kind of need that to be somewhat competitive. Bots are getting really good now. And all the competitive bots have some decision-making process, or at least almost all competitive bots have at least a little bit,
A little bit. You can start the game. We're ready. We're ready whenever. Oh, okay. Well, and we've also got Straylock. We'll be going up. So Straylock's really good with the micro, especially with Cyclones. So wouldn't be surprised to see a little mech here, huh?
I said it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He has a couple build orders, and whenever he decides to go with Cyclones, I just have my inner fan gamer moment, and I'm like, yes.
They're good, especially if you can get 3, 4, 5 of them grouped up, and they can all lock on individually. That's some.
It's glorious.
DPS. Yeah, it's glorious. That's a good word for it.
Have you? I guess you're not a Terran man. Have you played against Cyclones much?
Yeah. I've had my fair share of Cyclone.
Dude,
they whoop me. They whoop me a lot. All right, we're ready. We're moving on to Thunderbird production. Go ahead and kick it off. We've got a ZVT here. Now, Harvester does not participate on the AI ladder from what I saw, but Straylock is sitting there on 10th spot, so doing pretty good. Straylock definitely got some builds under its belt here. State size 209. So they described this last week again, and my memory is just the most garbage. I'm gonna take notes right now. I got my notepad right here. I brought it specifically for this purpose. So when you guys tell me again what that state size and action size means, it's basically choosing. Maybe you know. Do you know, Doctor?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I was not here last week either, so my memory of last week is very weak as well.
Damn, this agent is trained for 30,300 episodes. That is quite the saga.
That I can't tell you. Each episode is basically going to be one game.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, episodes could be a number of different things, but in general, one episode is going to be one game, one sample size. From start to whenever the bot decides it's over, which is probably going to be when it loses.
Gotcha. Okay, so we do it. State is the input, action is the output.
Yeah, for sure.
It's taking stuff in and then saying, I'm going to do this, essentially. It's telling me what its options are. Okay, yeah, you gotta put this in the nice layman terms for the plebe that I am.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting to me what makes it decide to say what state it is at that point in time. Like, it just suddenly says state size 209, action size 7, because like in general those numbers would probably fluctuate throughout the game. Like as the game goes on, you'll have more actions available to you, and the state size probably changes as well.
I see. So he kind of highlighted it there. Yeah, it goes in that order. Is that what you're saying? It kind of builds in that order?
For sure. In my experience, state is often represented by the game state as a whole. So you could have like a giant list of, okay, here's all our buildings, here's all our units, here's their health, here's what upgrades we have, and that's the game state as a whole. And then actions is at least the way AlphaStar does it, is it thinks of it in terms of, okay, here's the state, here's the list of everything, and actions is everything we could take. So AlphaStar's potential actions are very similar to humans, where let's select these coordinates on the screen, or hit A and click on this part of the screen. And it thinks it in terms of humans. What most Boston Ladder thinks of is more in terms of commands. So regardless of where I'm looking on the screen, let's tell this Reaper to attack this point, like even if I'm not looking there. And it looks like you managed to get the drone. That's, I think, just the scattering drone. I thought for a second it was the expanding drone.
Oh yeah, I thought it was too. My Harvester's on the other side of the map though. So
for sure, at this point of the game, it's normally the expanding drone. I'm like, oh man, he's so on top of things. That was the scattering drone. So,
all right. So pretty slow start here. A couple units coming out. Straylock getting that map control. More Hellions coming out as well. So he's going to have a nice mobile army. I do believe it said Banelings was next on the list after Roaches or Queens or something. But either way, this is a nice force out of Harvester to be able to push this away. Plenty of army supply. Oh man, those Reapers are pesky.
I absolutely love the frame perfect clicking and attacking over and over and over again. It always clicks on the exact Reaper, the exact Zergling that's been damaged, and it's managed to pick off 2 or 3 with its absolute pixel perfect precision mouse clicking, which doesn't actually use the mouse. But
Straylock is good with that micro. So something going on there. So 2 factories now. So yeah, this is going to be Cyclones. There's the mag field accelerator upgrade starting, if I'm not mistaken. Whoa.
I busted.
Oh,
I don't know what you guys have been doing, but or I don't even know if I heard it on stream, but it sounded like there was a cop alarm.
I think it was a name. Oh no, it might have been a cop.
Might have been an ambulance.
It's not for me. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's not
the
for me either.
Will continue. It's not for me this time anyway. Here comes Zerglings for Harvester. They're going to be knocking on Straylock's door like the cops breaking down a drug dealer's den here. And there is no defense whatsoever.
I mean, he's got the one Hellion. Oh, but the Zergling speed finishes just in time. He needs to pin himself against the wall. He's losing SCVs like crazy.
Yeah, this natural's done for. It's going to need to lift and evacuate. There is a Cyclone out, and while Straylock may excel with Cyclone Micro, I don't see this Cyclone being able to microwave itself out of this situation. And it doesn't. It dies. So
it needed to get behind the wall before need to get behind the wall, SCV wall, before the Zerglings got there, and then raise the depots. But unfortunately, one of Straylock's main weaknesses is getting backed into a corner with the Cyclones.
There we go. There's lift. Oh no, one of those 2 SCVs should have just stayed inside. The command center does get picked off. One will float away to safety, but this wall is getting knocked on. There is a Hellion that's going to be able to clean up the Zerglings pretty nicely. I guess the repair is going to hold things for now. Does Straylock hold?
It's looking like he might be able to pull off a hold. He needs to get that Hellion back in there. Oh,
he's out of money. Is he not mining in his main? Or not enough, I guess? Oh,
I think he could have hold, and he still might, but the fact that the Hellion wasn't at the wall firing at the Zerglings really put a wrench in the plans, and the Hellion looks like it's going to get picked off. Without the Hellion, things are not looking good.
Oh, it's looking good for Harvester, though. I do believe we're going to see a Zerg win here. The barracks falls. There is no income whatsoever. And, yeah, that's going to be Harvester taking the win here. Nicely done. Reaper still alive. Going at it.
Karen has mules.
Yeah.
They can come back.
Oh, flying buildings. Yeah, it might be a problem just for a little bit, but you know, these units are just going to follow it.
Yeah, at this level of
was Mutas on the
competition,
list?
I generally have faith in bots coming back. One thing that bots have to really plan for is enemy bots that never give up and just lift their buildings. So it's been a while since I've seen a bot not know to tech up to mutas and kill off enemy bases, but it could happen.
Indeed. Well, while we watch these Zergling chases down and get a conclusion, I need to grab a package from my front door that was just delivered. So I will be right back.
Oh man, that's funny. It drops the mules and then decides to return the minerals at the other base. Stick of Inspire right now, so it looks like the flying buildings are not going to be a problem this particular game, but it very well could have been. Yeah. Yamabushi says, told you. Flying buildings might be a problem. I told you. Well, not a problem this game.
Okay. There's the mutas.
And, yeah. Yamabushi sure told us.
He knows his stuff. Yeah, I was getting a little lag there at the end. Hopefully we get that resolved for our next game. Oh, yeah, just because it was sped up. That's fine then. All right, we've got one more match in Group 1. Your favorite bot coming up. We've got Gensi going up against Spiny, so another TVZ for our viewing pleasure.
One of the best matchups, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So about that TVZ and the TVT.
So now I know Gensi bot can do a lot with drops and really good micro and that kind of thing. Spiny, I can't remember exactly. I'm not super familiar with. Spiny is number 7 on the AI ladder, so definitely nothing to scoff at.
It has the rumored spine crawler push, where it takes creep all the way across the map and pushes forward with spine crawlers. I've heard it rumored. I have not yet seen it, and I haven't really want to.
Drek made note of that last week. He's like, man, with a name like Spiny, I thought we'd see spine crawlers.
Yeah, it definitely has a build that involves spine crawlers, but I have not yet seen it, which is very sad. And I think it intelligently decides whether or not to do it too, depending on what it sees and who it's against. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, and we got to start. I keep forgetting to mention the authors with their bot here. Spiny was created by Rasper, and then of course Gensi bot created by Joni Kosonen. And do let me know if I butcher your name, because I'm horrible with names. So we're going to start doing that a little bit more. Give you guys the proper credit. You know, all you bot makers work very hard on these bots. I know, definitely not easy to do. I definitely don't have the brain capacity to build one of these bots like these guys do. So it's very cool. Oh yeah, and they are also coded in various coding languages. This one doesn't say. Oh no, there it is. Python. Both bots are made in Python. Yeah, a lot of bots, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. You were saying how a couple of weeks ago how Python is just a lot easier, a little bit.
Easier, most popular. It's been around since the start of the SC2 AI bot scene. So, and there's a lot of good example bots that you can get a head start with if you choose to get started in making your AI bot. You totally should. It's a lot of fun. A lot of big community, always willing to support you. And if you're looking to do it, go ahead and get started in Python.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We're moving on to Acropolis for this lovely TVZ coming up here. I'll let you. Why don't you go? Who's this awesome bot on the top left here?
It's Gensi bot. Woo! Woo! My personal favorite. As a commentator, probably shouldn't be too biased, but
you can have your bias.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. Plays a lot like a human, and is in the color red today.
And down in the bottom right, we do have our blue Zerg Spiny. And, you know, both these bots actually share something in common. They both have a very similar feature in our notes here. They are both very afraid of Micro Machine. Spiny apparently would stand no chance, and Micro Machine is the bot that Gensi bot has the most trouble winning against. So both share that. I feel like there's got to be more bots as well that have Micro Machine as kind of the, you know, arch rival or something. Micro Machine's a boss. It's just too good.
He's everybody's arch nemesis. It's like interviewing pro players, and they're all like, "Oh man, Cyril, man, he's my weakness. He's my kryptonite." You know?
Could we say Micro Machine is the Cyril of our group? Is he that good comparatively?
He's definitely has a lot of similarities. He has won a lot of big tournaments. Well, I mean, big tournaments for the bot world, and he consistently wins them too. And he also is the nemesis of mini bots as well. So the
number one on the ladder.
Other than the fact that he plays Terran and Cyril plays Zerg, I think he could very well be the current Cyril of the bot world.
Yeah, definitely crazy stuff. Anyway, we've got Gency versus Spiny going at it. So Gency's getting that second base, as is Spiny. So nothing too crazy, no cheesy builds yet tonight. Especially, you know, Tier was the one that I was expecting to see cheese, but we're not getting any cheese so far. We might in Group 2, but Group 1, pretty standard stuff usually. Pretty standard stuff. What do you think? So I think Gency Bot's just going to go up into Bio, right?
Gency Bot go into...
Isn't Gency Bot a Bio?
A bio. I heard bile,
yes.
like corrosive bile from Rogers, and I was like really confused for a second because that's not necessarily a Terran thing to do. But yeah, no, he's definitely a bio player. Loves his drops, loves his 2-2 timing tank push, and he loves dropping multiple places at once if possible. So very, very good. Probably one of the better bio bots right now.
Okay. Well, we'll see how well Spiny can deal with that. Not a whole lot in the notes about how well Spiny can deal with Terran at all. It says, you know, its biggest weakness is Tempests, but don't have to deal with that this game. So we're just going to kind of sit back, wait and see as both these bots just kind of get set up and ready to go. Nice slow start here.
To see how it deals with the two-prong attack.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Gency Bot can hit all over it. Haven't we seen Gency Bot attacking like 4 bases at once?
Oh yeah, no, I would not be surprised. He's loves taking all his drop ships, flying to multiple places, and attacking at the same time. Bots are so weak against that. Humans are too. I guess it's a common weakness that we'll share. Spiny's getting his third at a pretty standard time. Starting to spread creep tumors across the map. Everything's looking like a human game so far, actually.
Yeah, no, very
in terms
standard.
of the little dance we're saying. The Reaper comes across the map, attacking the queens, poking, throwing grenades. Managed to get the third base up. Oh, he cancels the creep tumor.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, what a fancy move.
Would he have lost it though? I feel like the queen could have scared that.
I don't think he would have lost it. I think even if the Reaper just focused on that creep tumor and did not stop attacking, the creep tumor would have finished and it would have cloaked. But maybe a little too fancy for his own good.
We'll see here. All right, so Hellions starting to bank up. So we've got Vikings coming out as well to go overhead. And there we go. There's the stim for the bio. Oh, and Liberators even before bio. It's interesting. I don't think we even have one Marine on the map, do we?
We do not. He is going for Hellions and Liberator, which is a way I've not actually seen Gency Bot play before.
Yeah, this is interesting. So we'll trade. There we go. There's the first Marine on the way. I kind of like that though, because the nice pack of Hellions does give him a lot of map control, a lot of ability to deal with Zerglings, which is super helpful in this early game.
For sure.
I was gonna get a Queen for his troubles too, by the looks of it. Reaper just goes on by.
I thought I was going to put a grenade behind the Queen to make sure the Queen goes down.
That Reaper was like the fish in Finding Nemo. He went and touched the butt and then got out.
Finding Nemo. Yeah.
Has the Queen died yet? Oh, here he goes again. Oh, no, he doesn't go as far this time.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Zergling Speed is about to finish. He needs to be careful. Otherwise, the Zergling Speed is going to finish, and those Zerglings are going to get a complete surround on the Hellion and the Reaper.
Ooh, they're a little tentative, though. I don't know if they will commit or not. We'll see here. As the Hellions are going to be the bold ones right now. They just go right up. Ooh, they do pull back.
Almost got him. Almost got the Reaper.
No.
Got one Reaper down. Man down. Man down. Oh, I like the creep dropping right there. The extra little speed boost got a little extra damage on the Hellions.
I wish more Zerg players would just cover the creep with Overlords. Or cover the map with Overlord creep. I think it's a very underutilized feature.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Especially with all the Overlord speed Zergs are getting these days. Come on. There's no reason not to.
I think with the overlords they have on the map, they should definitely drop creep more. There's no reason not to. Like once you finish lair and you have overlords on the map, you might as well drop creep too.
I do like that little speed boost it gives as well. You can even, I have seen it very rarely. Zerg will make a little creep highway with the overlords. I wish more Zergs would do stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
anyway,
I completely agree.
More bio.
You gotta be careful against bio though, because if you're against bio, those Marines will come and they'll load in the medevacs. They're like, "Ooh, free overlords," and you will slowly lose map vision, map control.
Man, looks like Hellions are doing good though.
Yeah, the Hellions are doing really good. Spiny a little weak on his creep spread so far, which is surprising to see. Bot's normally very, very good at spreading creep all the way across the map, and he's not done too much of it yet.
I wonder how much influence the Hellions have played in that. You know, they did push back that one, or the Reaper pushed back the initial creep tumor, and then I just wonder if the Hellions, have they been close enough to stop the Zerg from wanting to put creep tumors? Because we saw how protective it was. You know, it canceled just when a Reaper started shooting it. So I haven't been watching closely enough to see if the Hellions have been getting right up on it or not, though.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but like we did see how Spiny canceled the creep tumor because of the fear of the Hellions. That very well, I would not be surprised if that's just kept happening. So it's like, oh, Hellions better cancel the creep tumor.
Ooh. So more and more Banelings morphing in. That is good against the bio. That is the right choice, I believe.
Spiny's getting very distracted by these Hellions. Meanwhile, in the right side of the map, there is a medevac drop coming in, and is Spiny going to be in position to deal with it?
A little bit, yeah. Looks like it actually. Plenty of Zerglings now coming in. Banelings even in tow, but GenziBot with the hot pickups is able to get out of there. GenziBot always on point with those pickups, able to get away. Oof. Not
one Marine for one Baneling. Fair trade, fair trade.
Not for the Marine, it wasn't.
That's true. He had a family.
Okay, here we go. This is coming back in. GenziBot did leave. It's actually distracted by the Hellions, so the Marines are able to get a little bit closer in, but not quite enough still. He's going to pull back one more time.
Almost got one of the Hellions too with the Zerglings before he decided to pull back. Oh, that Marine spread. Those two Banelings had nothing on those Marines. Looks like he's going to cancel the 5th base of Spiny.
Here we go. This is that 2-pronged attack you were talking. 3-pronged attack. He's actually spearheading with the Hellions down the middle, and then on each side sandwiching with Marines. And it's working okay right now. This is how you're supposed to deal with Zerg, in my opinion. Pick them apart, you know, hit them from multiple flanks.
Spiny's doing a really, really good job holding against it, though. He's splitting his army, not getting indecisive and going back and forth. He's like, I'll have just enough Zerglings over here, just enough Banelings over there, and he's managing to hold on pretty well.
And when you say just enough, look at the army supply. It is double in GenziBot's favor right now. So Spiny has to have almost perfect splitting to be able to deal with most of this, I think. There is a lot of supply at home for GenziBot in those tanks, but man, these Marines are just being pesky as ever. Yeah, they do make it in.
Baneling speed is done, though, which definitely will help on the defense.
Liberator control, a little bit lackluster, though, considering how well everything else is going for GenziBot. You know, not a lot of Marines dying and everything, but those Liberators just kind of come siege in the middle of everything, and the Queens just pick them off. No problem. So, a little bit of a blunder.
Spiny's managed to not die, but we got to start thinking about his end game. What is he transitioning to? Because if this goes on forever, it's definitely not the end game Spiny wants to see, where GenziBot maxes out and Spiny is barely holding on.
Well, yeah, you can't turtle forever as a Zerg. That's a Terran thing.
Excuse me.
Oh, there it is. I was warned about this. So it is a bot crash. It does say, for some reason, it goes cheat, and then GenziBot in-game surrender. All it means is the bot crashed. So Spiny is rewarded for its hard work, and we'll get a nice win here. And I gotta say, Spiny was doing good. There was Mutas coming out, more and more Banelings morphine. Hydras are even out now to help deal with those medevacs.
It's so sad. It's so sad. I was just asking what's Spiny's end game. Well, wait for the bot to crash. Well played, Spiny. Well played.
So this is your fault. You jinxed it. With your...
I caster curse. What am I gonna say?
Man, that was shaping up to be a really good game too. The worker count was in Spiny's favor, so GenziBot may have had a bigger army, but Spiny was about to start kicking in with that production. We saw those mutas and hydras and banelings and everything starting to crank out. That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, good job, Spiny. You get a win. GenCBot, unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble there. All right, so let's take a look at our bracket here. We are done with Group 1 for the night. Some very awesome games here. A lot of cool wins. And then we've got Group 2 coming up after our quick little break. We're going to throw it to a quick little, not a commercial, but do we run commercial? No, we just do a fun little song. It's an awesome song, so stick around and listen to it. Do type in !community in the chat to get access to our forum. You can see a fun new, what is it called? The Spotlight? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. We did a cool little StarCraft 2 resource spotlight where you can check out some cool resources across the StarCraft 2 community that can help you with your game. You can also become a Crown Club member. Type in !join in the chat for that. You get some cool perks and benefits. We'll talk about this all again after the break. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Doctor, thank you for being here as well.
Yeah, thanks for waiting for me.
Oh, yeah. We were all running a little late today. It's all right. So, yeah, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with Group 2. So don't go anywhere. You are watching ProBots here on ES Champ, Day 4, Season 1 of 2020. We'll be right back. Does that mean we're live? Okay. We're live. Welcome back, everybody. We are on Day 4 of Season 1 in 2020 here on ProBots. Or here with ProBots on ES Champ, the best channel on Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. Joining me is the Doctor, here to help give some insight into these bots for our next set of games here, because he knows a lot more than I do about these things.
I know a bit.
It's true. So yeah, we've got, what do we have coming up first? We got a PBZ, but before we get into that, we're going to talk about, what? Oh, are you talking to somebody else? Okay. Thought they were talking to me there. Type in !community to get access to our forum. We've got a cool little forum there. You can get lots of up-to-date information on what's going on here on ES Champ. You can also become a Crown Club member. One of the best ways to support the ProBot scene, as well as all the other stuff we do here on ES Champ. You even get shout-outs, and I think now is a good time to do a shout-out. What do you think?
I'm down.
Are we ready, production? Can we do a shout-out? How many shout-outs we got? Just one more?
Maybe we're going to save the shout-outs.
Shout out to GenC. Not only do you, not only do you have a good, we unfortunately didn't get to see the end of that game, but GenC does get a shout out there. I'm assuming that is the creator of GenCBot that actually, yeah, same person. So very cool. Thank you so much for the support. If you also want a shout out, you can type in !join to become a Crown Club member. You can get all sorts of cool little benefits from that as well. And then, of course, we've always got that good old Twitch subscription. You get early access to VODs. They are locked for about a week after we do this, or they go up on YouTube or wherever they go. Anyway, we've got some more games coming up. We've got Group 2. If you want to pull up the bracket, we can. If not, I'm just going to read them anyway. We've got Mad AI going up against Kagamine first, but we've also got Micro Machine, Antibot, Cinderblock, Additional Pylons, Three-Way Lover, and Paul. A lot of good bots here in Group 2. There it is. So, yeah, if you want to get a full bracket, by the way, you can head over to our GG page, smash.gg. Just search for ProBots 2020 Season 1, and you can follow the brackets yourself and kind of keep up with how these bots are doing. So, a lot of cool resources here. All right. I think we're ready for game number 1. Let's go and talk about our first two. So, we've got Madman's bot, Mad AI. Is a Protoss going up against our Zerg, who's been around for quite some time, created by HJax. We've got Kagamine. Kagamine is one of the few reactive bots. You know, it is able to kind of adapt and see what's going on and change its build accordingly.
Definitely tries to get a feel of the game and react to what his opponent's doing. So in top left, top
right,
right,
yeah,
top right. We got the blue. We got Kagamine.
If you turn your head, it's the top left.
Yeah, so I was looking at like this, like at a 9-degree. I know the camera's not on there, but I have my head right at a 9-degree angle.
It's hard to set up straight. I get it. All right, in the bottom left, we do have our red Protoss, of course, Mad AI. He's mad, I tell you. So MadBot relies on 5 different hard-coded build orders, and these are considered good in particular situations or against certain races, and it just kind of chooses them after approximately 2 minutes of the game. So we are going to see, I believe this is the one that kind of gives you that little statistics, 80% of or 20%, or, kind of calculates what it thinks will do best in whatever given matchup we've got.
Yes, he absolutely tells you his numbers and what he thinks, but he does not tell you what those numbers mean. Mm-hmm. He just spits them all out there. I don't know if we ever got a definitive answer from the madman himself.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I think it's choosing probability of win, because it'll say here, it'll say the different builds it does, and each one will have a percentage next to it. And then I think on the bottom it says, I choose this one.
Yeah, each build has 4 or 5 different numbers next to it.
Yeah. Does it?
Yeah, it does, which is what always throws me off. Well, one of those is percentage of win, I think. So.
Yeah. We're coming up to the 2-minute mark, so it should be relatively soon here. Some good scouting so far. Zealot even going to kill the scout of Kagamine. So Mad AI's got some decent information, I think, to make a decision. Let's see what we get here.
I mean, he's coming back. He's not going to be getting any more decision because the scouting probe's on his way back. Oh, and here it is.
It's choosing the 4-gate proxy. We see this. I think this is the 3rd time now. 3 of 4 times we've gotten this proxy.
It's a very strong build order, and he says proxy, but he only proxies the pylon, which is very deceptive.
It doesn't do percentages. It just does the numbers. I think one of them is a percentage, though.
I think it's a percentage relative to everything else.
Yeah.
It's weird how it does it.
Because the 4-gate proxy got like a 61. I think it's the last number. Is like, oh, this is the, anyway, we're just guessing here, but we are going to see so it's a 4-gate proxy in the sense that the pylon is proxied, not the gateways themselves. So it's more of I guess a 4-gate would be a better
4-gate with proxy pylon.
Yeah, with proxy pylon. Because I mean that's how with the 4-gate you just proxy the pylon.
That's true. I guess
how 4-gate works.
Yeah, it's just 4-gate, but I think
if you don't do proxy pylon, you're not going to have those reinforcements for your 4-gate. That's the whole point. So, well, we'll see if Kagamine can hold it. 3 bases already, so we're going to need to see a lot of Zerglings coming out real soon here, I think.
He got him. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we got him. That's it. Should we just call it there? GG.
Yeah.
The proxy has failed. What hope does the Protoss have?
I mean, not only the proxy failed, his whole life, as we know it, is a failure. Just kidding.
Oh, here we go. So Yamabushi dropping his knowledge here. He knows it all. So each first number from strat adds to a 0 or to 100.
Yeah.
So basically, they're just all percentages. Okay. They just don't have the percents on. So I was right. There are percentages.
But what do they mean?
Yeah, 4 different scoring systems. Well, the higher percentage is better. It's going to win more or something.
Man, I'm still learning how numbers work. So. It's an ongoing joke amongst my friends too. Like I really can't actually do numbers. They mess me up.
We have calculators. You don't have to. We have robots that do it for us. Here we go. Zergling's going to come in.
Really coming in.
Good engagement. Oh, this is bad for Mad AI. He does not have enough forces here. Not having that proxy pylon. You can see the reinforcements coming all the way across the map, but they are just so far away right now. It does have a couple sentries this time, which is nice.
Yeah, I think he's got one more shot, but that was probably the worst possible engagement Mad AI could have took.
Well, in the 4-gate, this relies on being able to snowball. The whole first wave is dead here. So more and more Zerglings are going to be popping out, and they should be able to deal with this fine. The double Guardian Shield's only going to help against the Queen there. Force Fields would have been much better, obviously, but...
Oh, do Guardian Shields not help against
Against melee? No.
Oh,
It's
well,
ranged only. As far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm sure they will.
All I do is play Terran, so I actually have.
Yeah, the Guardian Shield
like everything.
reduces incoming range damage by like whatever percentage or something.
Everything I have is range damage. Well, looks like this
Dropping
is getting
knowledge bombs.
Pretty handle it.
Yeah, I think Kagamine is going to be able to seal the deal here. Does have a Roach Warren as well, but doesn't even need the Roaches. Zerglings are enough. Oh, this poor Sentry. You came to the wrong fight here. And yeah, I think that should do it.
Yeah, this is a very momentum-based build order, and some of that momentum is gone now.
I'd say the momentum's going in the other direction by this point.
Yeah, he's making the way across the map.
Oh,
those Zerglings could very well just get in the main and kill everything.
Yeah, I think they might. The wall was not very tight up there.
Mad AI's units are going across the map like breadcrumbs, leading back to the gingerbread city that is Mad AI's base.
Oh, Sentry, go back up. No! Zealot is gonna... Nope, Zealot's not gonna get in the hole. The workers are gonna get pulled in mass, though.
And they're all deciding to attack one at a time.
Hold the wall.
This bot's currently not aware of the drum drill strategy that helps fight against this kind of thing. But it looks like he managed to clean it up. It's like
Helm's Deep all over again, except for Gandalf's not coming this time.
That would suck.
Yep. So I think this is pretty much decided here. 4 bases now for Kagamine against the 1. About 3 times the workers as well. So once this Spire finishes up, once mutas are popping out, once all this kind of comes to fruition for Kagamine, she's going to easily be able to push across and finish off Med AI.
For sure. Med AI doesn't have any chance at this point.
Yeah. Well, and it's too bad because we have seen this 4-gate proxy do very well. It can actually hit with quite the punch, but losing that first pylon is kind of the indicator, I think, of how it's going to go. And
it was definitely a bad omen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You can still come back with the 4-gate, not have the proxy. You just walk across the map.
Well, just needs to work on something for Mad AI, for the bot to kind of get better at is not trickling the units across. We've seen that out of a lot of other bots. It's a very common thing, I think, especially as bots are starting out, even as they kind of develop more and more. If they just have that one focus in mind, attack, send units, it can get them in trouble. You know, you got to be able to group back up and consolidate your forces and stay together, especially in scenarios against a lot of Zerglings like that. So
trickling across the map works pretty well when you're winning.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's definitely good if you're not in this scenario. But hey, 1 Roach does die. The Roaches are out in mass, though. And Mad AI is a bold one. I'll give him that. He's got balls. You got balls, kid.
He's definitely the mad lad.
He is the mad lad. Well, I got nothing else to say on this one. We're going to see Kagamine push across potentially. Maybe we should get a little speed up on the game.
I'd agree with that.
I think we're about at time.
Ever since the first push out, things definitely did spiral out of control. It was honestly one of the worst engagements you could take. The Stalkers were surrounding the Zealots. The ranged units were having the melee units as the Oreo cream filling, with the Stalkers being the brown Oreo cookie, black Oreo cookie on the outside. So
man, now I want Oreos. I haven't had an Oreo in forever.
Oh man, they're so good, and they have so many kinds now. They got like the giant thick Oreos, the thin Oreos.
I don't like the double stuff. It's too much.
Oh well, they don't stop there. They got like triple and quadruple stuff.
Got, like,
it's huge.
Yeah, it's too much.
Like it's so big, only like 10 Oreos fit in that giant package.
I just remembered that birthday cake Oreos exist, and I got really excited.
Oh
have
man,
you had the birthday cake ones?
I have not actually.
Oh my god, they're the best Oreos in existence. You'll never want another Oreo in your life.
I'm definitely gonna have to try those.
They're insane. What did you just watch? Mantaridi? Yeah, sorry, I suck at names. We went over this. What did you watch? You just watched a bot game, an awesome PVZ, and you watched Kagamine kick some serious Protoss butt there. Yeah, and that is game 1 of Group 2.
Yeah, this is and by bot games, we mean community made scripted AIs that clash against each other. These are not the type of bots you could get on the dark web and automatically do your creep spread. Like, humans are not involved at all. These are pure AI against AI.
Well, I mean, they're like, involved in the sense of the humans make them.
I mean, yeah, for sure. They're all Alpha Star wannabes.
Only for now. Give it some more time. Soon we're gonna have these bots making more bots.
And then
it all starts, man.
Soon the bots are gonna start scripting humans, and then what are we gonna do?
All right. Well, we've got another game coming up here. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. If you are just joining us, this is day 4 of season 1 here on ProBots. So definitely type in !community to check out our forum. You can get a lot of up-to-date information there. What do we got next? TVT, another TVT coming up. I love me some TVT. This one is going to be interesting. We have Micro Machine going up against Antibot. Micro Machine, I think the obvious favorite in this one, or the most likely to win.
For sure, he's definitely the favorite. Antidog's definitely going in as the underdog in this matchup. Mm-hmm. Not to say he has no chance at all, but Micro Machine, like we were comparing earlier, is a little bit like the Cyril of the world. Like, you could say, yeah, Cyril versus Innovation. Yeah, they're both really good players, but Innovation's kind of the underdog, in that scenario, because Micro Machine's just that good.
Yeah, well, in Micro Machine, so Micro Machine is programmed in C++ as opposed to Antibot, who's programmed in Python. Now, do you think that gives Micro Machine an advantage or just more possibility? What's the big difference between those?
So C++ is a bit more of a machine language. C++ is like also a really old language. They're both really old, but C++ is older. Mm-hmm. So one thing that gives you is your code, in theory, will run faster than Python. So if you ever do something really computationally expensive and you got to stay within a certain amount of time or to like play by the rules of the tournament, then yeah, Micro Machine in theory could have a tournament, or an advantage. Micro Machine in theory could have an advantage. But C++ is also old and harder to work with than Python. So even though in theory there's a technological edge given to C++ bots due to the fact that C++ in general is the faster language, I think Python bots are easier to debug, and I think in the long run, I think they're often stronger. But
okay. Well, we'll see how it plays out here. Antibot does love to play against GensiBot, so Gensi, a very good Terran bot, so it might give a little bit of help here to Antibot against Micro Machine, but Antibot does struggle with the early aggression, and as we know, Micro Machine, early aggression, non-stop aggression, it just goes. It only knows how to go. So it's
might as well call it Micro non-stop aggression machine.
Yeah, it's a much easier to say name. I like that. Micro Machine is programmed by RapRR and Unusual. So shout out to them, and shout out to Savilas. Let me know if I butcher any of these names. I do apologize. But is the creator of Antibot. So let's go ahead and move on to Ephemeron. We're ready for game number 2. Let's kick off this TVT here whenever you're ready, production. And there it goes. All right, so up in the top left, we do have Micro Machine, last season's winner, current reigning champ, I believe undefeated as well in this season, which no surprise to anybody here.
Yeah, it's a very strong bot. And in the bottom right, in the blue is going to be it. We got Antibot, which I believe has a lot more of a sane acronym than alert. If I remember correctly, it's I believe artificial no intelligence bot, which is an absolutely wonderful name. Definitely wins the naming contest if we had one of those.
So I like
in this matchup.
Oh, for this matchup.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
You said I like, and then I
like. Oh yeah, I like Reapers. I like Antibot's idea to go for Reapers first, because that's usually what we see out of Micro Machine. So that's really going to help Antibot if she can just hold off that early aggression, keep it at bay, keep the buildings from. We saw that game just a few games ago where the SCV died with 1 second left to build on the barracks, and it just throws a huge wrench in everything's plan. And Micro Machine is really good at throwing wrenches into everybody's gears. It's kind of its specialty here. So. I got some hope for Antibot. I'm feeling good about this.
I'm liking the opening too. Anytime you go for an additional production building before you get your expansion as Terran is definitely the safe play. You got 1 gas, 2 barracks. It's pretty standard economically speaking. You definitely don't want to take the 2nd gas before you get 2nd barracks. He's going to start pumping out Marines, possibly even getting a 3rd Rax because he's getting a 2nd gas now. And he's going to be pretty safe. If all he does is make Reapers, well, more Reapers is better than less Reapers.
Double cranking the Reapers right now. That's absolutely going to be more in the long run in favor for Antibot. So we're going to have a little clash here. Reapers moving towards each other in the middle.
Might actually see Antibot.
They just pass in the night.
Past each other like ships in the night. Yeah, exactly. We might see Antibot become the aggressor with his choice of opening.
Well, Antibot can, because another Reaper about to pop out back at home for defense. So just in time. Oh, you're going the wrong way, Reaper. Reaper, no. Okay, another Reaper about to pop out. So Antibot should be okay back at home. Right?
Yeah, he should be. Just the units that pop out of the barracks should be enough to hold. Oh, what is that micro?
Oh, the ramp gets him.
That is super unfortunate.
Indeed. So Antibot does lose on the front there, but is able to push back and gets a kill back at home. So tying things up, an eye for an eye here. Things are evening out. And again, Antibot's got a bit of an army advantage with 2 Reapers and a Marine out now. So this 1 Reaper from Micro Machine, I don't see doing too much. Some nice grenades as well out of both Reapers. And grenade control has gotten so good recently.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive. We have a bunker on the way for Antibot. Not necessarily the wisest choice because his advantage right now is army supply, and he doesn't necessarily need a bunker to help defend. Micro Machine's teching up, well, not teching up, but expanding right now. Antibot's going to have to follow suit if he wants to keep up in an economic game.
Yeah, it's really interesting to put that bunker so far down there with no expansion anywhere in sight, really. Interesting. Well, maybe just senses the threat of the Reaper and is just trying to deal with this first, and then we'll eventually move into that expansion. A Marauder. I love the Marauder idea. That is so... Marauders don't care about Reapers at all. They're so good.
I really love the quantity of Reapers we're seeing from both sides. We're seeing just Reapers all over the map, every way. Look over here, you got a Reaper. Look over there, you got a Reaper. Just basically you scroll across the map one side of the other.
Oh,
see like a dozen Reapers.
Antibot gets back on the high ground, does save that Reaper. Now the Marauders are out as well. So we should be able to, this Hellions going to be able to catch up to that Reaper eventually. And Antibot's actually taken some pretty favorable engagements here. It's kind of doing a little rope-a-dope. Should be able to maybe get this Reaper.
He might. Micro Machine's pathfinding in terms of I know where to move to escape to avoid hitting things is absolutely on point.
Oh, gets it. Nicely done. Antibot is going to take the Reaper kill there. And that's why, because it was 2 versus 1 there for just a moment. So Micro Machine potentially could have picked off Antibot's Reaper, actually. But here come the Banshees. This is where I think starts to get dicey for Antibot. We do have Stim on the way and Marines in production, but there's not a lot of anti-air. There's that 1 bunker with some Marines in it. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, it's not looking super good. He needs a Cyclone, and I believe he has a finished factory with a tech lab. But without that Cyclone finished now, when that Reaper gets... when the Banshee gets across the map, it doesn't even cloak. There is just not enough anti-air on the side of Antibot.
Oh, yeah, these Cyclones are going to be a real problem. Thankfully, the Marauders are out, so they're going to be able to do a little bit extra damage as those Cyclones are armored, right?
That is true. Do they have a concussive shell?
They do not, as far as I know. So, yeah, the Cyclone gets pinned in the corner just a little bit and is locked onto the bunker, so the Marauders are able to chase no problem. Marauders even pushing back Reaper. I think Marauders were one of the best choices here. Unfortunately, 2 of them will go down there on the front. And yeah, it's again, these Banshees. I knew this was going to cause the biggest problem here. It usually does because there's just not enough anti-air. Turret finally going down, but that's a day late and a couple minerals short there.
Banshees are just such a strong choice for Micro Machine.
Yeah, this is where the brutality begins. No scans coming down either which is really unfortunate for Antibot. And this bunker's going to die before the Marines even get a chance to kill the Banshees. And this is why Micro Machines so scary, man. Things are looking even. Antibot's taking some good engagements with the Reapers. You know, it's kind of looking like it's going his fair. And then Micro Machine just comes in with the hammer and clocks you in the head and kills you.
Yeah, Micro Machine has not the one punch or the 1-2 punch, but the 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it just each distinct phase. You got the Reaper, you got the Cyclone, you got the Banshee, and if you manage to survive all that, you got a battle cruiser. And each phase requires slightly different tech and slightly different units to defeat, which even if you manage to hold past one, you might not hold past all 4 phases. And
H Jackson the Jet. Micro Machine is like, should build Banshee, return true. Just always build Banshees. That's it's what it does. It's really good with the Banshee control.
It's something I'm surprised we don't see more out of bots, actually.
Out of Terran bots?
Yeah, because Cloak is so strong against bots because you need to know how to deal with it, and a lot of bots just don't.
Oh, you guys are killing me in chat. You're funny. All right, Micro Machine going to take the win there. We're halfway through Group 1. Micro Machine will remain undefeated here, I think, to the surprise of almost no one. So moving up, we've got a ZVP and then a PVZ. So we're going to see 2 Protoss versus Zergs for our final 2 games coming up. Coming up next, we've got Cinderblock versus Additional Pylons. And let me pull up my bot notes, because I'm old and my brain can't remember things. So Cinderblock, aka The Brick, was around a long time ago in early ProBot seasons. Did a really cool build. Actually got up into Roaches last week and managed to take a win, if I recall correctly. Had a very strong game. Who was it against? Against Antibot. Yeah. So against who we just saw there. We'll see how that goes against Protoss. So it's going up against Protoss this time. Additional Pylons made in Python. Both these bots made in Python. Oh, yeah. Make sure we refresh our stream here so we're up to sync. All right. There we go. I am refreshed. Are you refreshed?
I am very refreshed.
You look nice and relaxed too. Ready for a couple more. No, don't sit. Relax. I'm glad you're calm, having fun.
It's more a posture thing. Like everybody's always reminded me of my posture. I'm 6'1", but no one would guess because I'm like this, like all day long. And they're like, "Dude, what are you doing?
Sit up straight." It'll get you. I had some. I used to slouch a lot too, and I basically started going arthritic in my neck because I slouch too much. So
man, that's
be careful.
Scary.
It's real. I'm only 30. I'm 31.
Yeah, I'm getting there eventually. I should probably
sit up straight.
Be aware of that. Yeah.
Anyway, so Additional Pylons is created by MindMe, and then the Cinderblock is made by Polymorphotic, one of those two.
Polymorphic.
So yeah, whenever you're ready, production, let's go ahead and move on to Acropolis. Will be our next map for this ZVP. Oh, we're stalling. Additional Pylons is, I believe, favored in this matchup. Additional Pylons currently 8th on the AI ladder, and Cinderblock is sitting down a little bit further down on 34th there. So a little bit of a discrepancy. So I go ahead and say our Protoss is probably the favored bot. Are you telling us to tell you when? Because we're good whenever. Not yet? Okay. We'll have our next game up in just a moment. While we got you here, while you guys can't go anywhere because you are dying to see the next game, make sure you type in !community in the chat to check out our forum. You can type in !join as well to become a Crown Club member and get some cool benefits and that kind of thing. And I think we're ready. Did you say starting, or did I make that up? Okay, we are starting. Excellent. Here we go. Moving on to Acropolis here.
Bottom right in the red, very fitting. We got Cinderblock, because he's a brick.
A brick.
Red bricks. Imagine if we had blue bricks. What a world we'd live in.
Oh man, you just blew my mind.
Blue.
What if all the bricks were blue? That would be, but it would just be normal, and then we would be like, what if all the bricks were red? in that scenario. You know, the grass is always greener. Well, here is our blue player. It is our blue Protoss. Additional pylons up in the top left. So it always comes back to perspective. It's all about that perspective, man.
That's true. What if blue Protoss warp-in animations were red? You know,
It'd look a lot more sinister when you double gate proxy.
That's true. I remember that meme.
the eyes glowing in the dark.
For like 3 weeks straight, that was the only thing anybody ever posted on the StarCraft subreddit was just people's eyes. With,
well, it's all anybody did on the ladder for like 3 weeks straight if you were Protoss.
Don't cheese me, bro.
Oh, man.
Don't cheese me.
Ooh, nice early base out of additional pylons here and no wall. That could be a problem because Cinderblock likes Zerglings and Cinderblock also likes to get roaches right after those Zerglings. So wall might be helpful here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it.
It's always helpful against Zerg. You always got to care for like a tie wall if Speedlings are in the game plans for the Zerg.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, Paul didn't beat Antibot last week. It beat Mad AI. That was my mistake.
Oh, did he really? That's
so.
Amazing.
Did he? Or wait, no, am I thinking of... Oh, no.
I wasn't here last week, so I actually have no idea of knowing.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong notes. No, I'm thinking Cinderblock. No, Cinderblock beat... Oh, no, Cinderblock did beat... Okay, I'm just throwing out random incorrect falsities here, so don't... Ignore me. Yeah, Paul lost last week. It was Cinderblock. Cinderblock that won last week. It's who I meant to say. I looked at the wrong note.
It's who's in game right now, so pretty relevant information.
Yeah, I should probably just quit.
And in fact, it's pronounced the Cinderblock.
The Cinderblock.
It's not just Cinderblock. It's the Cinderblock.
Address him by his correct title, you plebeian. The Cinderblock. All right, there's that Roach Warren I was talking about. So we are going to see a nice little Roach Zergling attack here in the next couple of minutes. I'd say at about the 4-minute mark should be making its way across the map here. I'm a little bit worried for additional pylons because we don't see any other tech. We see Warp Gate on the way, but with roaches coming out and as quickly as they're about to be coming out, there it is. Okay, I was going to say we should probably hope for a robotics facility. And before I can even say it, one gets put down. So well done, additional pylons.
Mortals are good against roaches. It's very true.
So, well, we'll see if they're going to be out in time. That's going to be the question because 3 roaches are already in the production tab. This is just going to be a nice 2-base attack out of Cinderblock.
Yeah, I got to say, it's 8 roaches. 8 roaches now in production, as a matter of fact. He's going all in. No third base for him, just none. Roach.
Roaches coming out in mass. Well, I think they're going to do pretty damn well here. We should have 1 Immortal out by the time they get to the base, though. Right?
Yeah.
We built an observer first, though. I forgot he does that, I think, every time.
I mean, well, it's good against Micro Machine and his Banshees. Less good against the Roach all-in.
Oh, this is going to be a tough hold here. Cinderblock is going to definitely get some damage done. It's going to, at the very least, force some retreating from the natural. And
he's getting another observer.
Goodness gracious. You madman. Additional pylons is either really confident or just made the worst decision in the world. I'm going with the latter.
I think if he loses, this will be the second loss he's had by deciding to make 2 not second loss he's had, but at least second loss that I've seen from him deciding to make 2 observers before making an Immortal.
All right, 4 roaches have gone down, so only 5 remain. You know, he's almost cut that number in half, but at the cost of all of his zealots and sentries, these 2 stalkers can kite for some time here, so maybe they can buy enough time. There's a cannon coming down somewhere. Where's the cannon coming down? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really wondering. Like, he's choosing to build a cannon over an Immortal. Definitely a questionable choice. Let's see how it pays out for him.
I believe it's up on the high ground.
Yeah, that's actually a decent spot for it, too.
Yeah.
Although more and more roaches coming across the map, Zealots, looks like he has hard-coded building placement. The second that pylon went down, he decides to build another pylon right there. And look, there he goes again. He wants a pylon right there, and he is going to stop at nothing to get that pylon.
He's like, come on, I can do it. Oh, he gets it down, only to lose another 100 minerals.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's a very common bug for bots to have, actually, where they decide, hey, I want a building, and I want it right now, and I want it this one specific location at the cost of all other things. If he chose to get an immortal over that pylon, well, we might have been in a different spot right now.
To be fair, look at his name.
Additional pylons.
It's what he does. It's what he does best.
He's living up to his dream. He has one job, and he's doing it very, very well.
Hey, a hallucinated immortal. That's cute, but it won't do anything at all. That actually was kind of cute. I liked it. But yeah, Cinderblock going to take another solid win. So this is kind of Cinderblock's bread and butter at the moment, and it's working very well. This kind of early Zergling Roach attack that just kind of keeps flooding in and trickling in more and more units and just nonstop aggression, and it does really well. If you're not prepared, you got to get that immortal out first. You got to have force fields or something ready. You got to have that cannon on the low ground even done and ready to go. Would have been somewhat helpful, but
yeah. If you got the all in, you got to react accordingly. And...
Yes, you do. All right. We've got one more matchup tonight. We've got one more game here in Group 2 for ProBots Day 4. We've got a Protoss versus Zerg. It is three-way Lover versus Paul coming up here. And we're going to refresh our lovely stream so we are not behind. Good call. All right, so three-way Lover, a very strong bot as well. We've talked about three-way Lover in previous weeks, how it's just constantly in the top 4 for the season finales. So a very strong bot. We've seen a lot of really good stuff out of three-way Lover. Going up against Paul, who's a bit of a newcomer, I think, to the scene. At least our scene. I believe this is Paul's first season, if I recall correctly.
I mean, I haven't seen him around before.
Oh, it's not his first season. No, was he in last season?
Did he have a different name? I think we asked this
second
all
season.
the time.
Okay, so it is, yeah. Okay, it is Paul's second season. Thank you. My mistake. Mistake.
I love the name Paul. It is very amusing to me.
It is good. All right.
Yes! The lizard! Oh man, where we're getting those intro graphics. There was we had this great discussion about lizards. Well, not lizards. Why Paul has the name Paul. And he's like, yes, I named it after this wonderful individual. And he sends us a picture of his lizard, and it's the cutest lizard you've ever seen in your life. And it's gonna be his intro graphic, whether he likes it or not.
Oh, a little bearded dragon. Awesome.
Bearded dragon. Well, to me at least, it's gonna be a lizard. Well, bearded dragon. It's adorable one way or the other.
It's good stuff. All right, so we've got Protoss versus Zerg again, both bots made in Python here. We're moving on to Triton for our final game. You can go and kick it off whenever production. We'll talk about these bots as we kind of dive into it here. So, yep, here we go. We've got in the top left. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. There he is. Top left, three-way Lover, or Red Protoss.
It's a wonderful name. He's such an old bot at this point that I kind of it's just kind of like Steve to me now. And if you take a step back and think about it, I'm like, that name makes me chuckle. If I actually stop thinking of him as Steve and start thinking of him as three-way Lover.
There you go.
The bottom right, we got the bearded dragon, not a lizard, not to be confused with a lizard, definitely not a lizard. It's a bearded dragon. His name's Paul. Bearded dragon at the keyboard, ladies and gentlemen. It is quite the sight.
So fun fact about Paul. Oh, sorry, what?
No. I continue.
Oh, okay. I don't want to interrupt, my bad. I was just so excited because we haven't seen it yet this season, I don't think. But Paul can build a Nidus.
Can he really?
Paul can build the Nidus. True story. We saw it last season. That's right. I remember seeing it last season. That's where we've seen Paul before. Paul was the first bot to throw down the Nidus worm and use it. I do believe it, unfortunately, didn't work in the long run. Did lose that game, but cool to see. Hopefully we do see some more progress with that in the future, and hopefully we can maybe see it even in this game. Would be pretty cool.
I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed here. And then three-way Lover, I think its most notable trademark, it's second base location in the third base spot. So it takes its natural in the third base location. Which on this map, a little bit risky, right? Or does the auto path go up to the right? Oh yeah, no, it doesn't go to the third, does it? Say you're Zerglings and you move across the map to the Protoss base, you're not going to see that third base, right?
If you're
that third base location just south of the main. See what I'm saying? I think they go around to the right.
I don't. So if you're moving down, oh yeah, you definitely won't see that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how this works out.
So one thing to note, though, there's, I believe, a hard wall for a three-way lever, and that can throw a wrench in the pathing plans of units that move across the map, right? Because if there's a hard wall, even through the fog of war, it will path as if it's a hard wall, which causes problems because if you do that, you never get high ground vision.
So, and we've seen that be a problem a lot. You got to have that high ground vision. Oh, and I got a shout out too. We almost forgot to shout out our lovely bot makers here. Hanging out in chat tonight is Three-Way Lovers creator Yamabushi. Thank you for being here. And Paul was created by I Don't Code This Game. That's what it says in my notes.
That's okay. We have a GM level player at naming things, and it's Paul and I Don't Code This. Oh man, this guy.
Paul was made by Captain Jack H. Also hanging out in chat. Okay, well, welcome, Captain Jack. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the bot makers for making this possible. It's so awesome to have 16 bots in this season, kicking off 2020 strong. Again, there's lots of resources if anybody in chat is interested in making their own bot and getting submitted and partaking in this awesome tournament. Do so. Get the resources available to you. Use them. Cool stuff. All right, so we got a lot of Zerglings here. Is this just going to be a big Zergling all in out of Paul?
So one thing you got to remember is he has the gas. Yeah, he has not. Oh man,
there it is. I was gonna say why does he have a lair in the natural? It's because he's Nidison.
Mm-hmm. And he's still getting that gas. You need what, 50 minerals, 50 gas for Nidus word?
Well, he can build a couple more now. Yeah, I don't know if he takes. I think he just stays on the gas, if I recall correctly.
And he has link speed. I remember the first week we saw him play. I don't think he ever got link speed, and it made me very sad.
Okay, no, does he? He doesn't have an overlord across the map, so I guess he's going to rely. Oh no, he does have one just outside of the main. It looks like.
And it's going down.
There it
Void
is.
Rays are in position, but they are not using that prismatic beam alignment.
They don't need it. There's two of them. This is the counter to Nidus. Look at this. He's at one base with cannons all up in the ramp. The Void's covering pretty much the only spot that the Nidus can ever go down in this main base. Is Paul held? I mean, it's a good thing Paul has more gas, right?
That's true. He definitely wants that Nidus to go down, and he wants it to go down right now. And the question is, who will mine out first? Who has the finite amount of resources? And the answer is Three-Way Lover. He only has so much mineral and gas in his main, and he has a hard wall.
Okay, here we go. This is the moment. So the Voids have to leave for this to go down. And since Paul ran out of gas, he can't build another Nidus just yet. If he can get it further up and to the left to where the Voids won't go and pick it off, this could happen. But he's still just being a little bit
They're going for the Overlord first. Oh! Hopefully they bought enough time.
No, there's three of them. Nah, there's just too much. Too much DPS. 3 Voids are too good, man. Oh, well. Interesting. So yeah, Paul's not going to make anti-air, is what we're being told in chat here. So in the end, the Void Rays will kill all of Paul's bases. So it's a matter of Paul killing all of the Three-Way Lovers stuff first, then. It's his only hope, right?
Yeah. I think he's very sold on the Nidus.
Oh yeah, he's making it happen. I don't think the units can even go across the map. I think they're only programmed to use the Nidus by the looks of it.
Yeah, it would be very fun to watch him go across the map, though.
If they can get in, Zerglings might be able to kill all this stuff, kill all the cannon stuff. Unfortunately, Paul has kind of stopped, though. So I think this was meant to, flood in, lose a bunch of lings, and then keep making more. But it looks like Paul just caps at 66 and decides to make no more. Hey, the super turtle into voids works, all right? It's a legitimate strategy.
He needs more 90s. 90s?
90s?
Like,
that sounds wrong.
I mean, what's the plural of niduses then?
Just
nidus?
nidus. Yeah.
Nidus? It's just already plural?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those
Okay.
already plurals. Look at all the nidus, Why not?
So, well, whatever it is, he needs more. He needs more nidus, like one for each corner of the base. So, because the void ray is going to be at one location at a time.
You could just say nidus worms would also cover your base.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, I like the way you think nidus worms. I could have avoided this whole problem altogether had I just changed my grammatical structure a little bit. That is not where you want to build that, my friend.
Whew.
Like, it's bad enough you have to fight void rays. You don't want to fight all these cannons. And he's out of gas again.
And there goes the Overlord. So we're going to see another Overlord do the walk of shame, or the float of shame, rather.
He's supply block too from that.
Slowly make its way. Well, I mean, it wasn't making any more Zerglings anyway, so it doesn't matter. He's got 90 Zerglings out right now. God, if these could just be unleashed into the main base. Here we go. The
He might
voids are
not
going
have
to
enough more overlords. So you know what he does have?
Dun, 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 dun.
56,000 APM. Not quite sure what he's using it on. But
Holy crap. Is that the Flight of the
53,000.
Valkyrie song? Dun, 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 dun.
Three-Wave Lover very impressively has 0 APM right now. Bots
Doesn't
are kind
need
of
it.
backwards. The lower your APM, the more impressive it is. It's easiest to program your bot to just every frame reevaluate what's going on and then just reissue a command. But if you remember what you've previously told it to do, like you're using less APM. And
Whew. Well, unfortunately for Paul, the Nidus was never able to come to fruition. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was really hoping for a scrappy kind of base trade or something like that. But well done at a three-way lover with just the super strong turtle on one base into the mass voids. And with no anti-air coming out of Paul, it's going to be an easy sweep here. 3 queens ain't going to do much. And yep, there we go. Fast forward. So, bit of an anticlimactic ending to the evening, but fun nonetheless. Very glad we at least got to see the Nidus Worm, even if we didn't get to see it get used.
we'll see it eventually.
There's
There's
potential
still 3
there.
more weeks, I believe. Of,
Oh, yeah.
The group stages, at least. And there's going to be plenty of time to see the Nidus come out. The
You
Nidus is-
don't apologize in chat there. No. You did a very good job, and you have a very strong one base build here, especially against Zerg. So nothing to apologize for. It's about winning, man. That's what StarCraft is.
Yeah, you won. You should apologize. You made someone else feel bad.
Feel bad for winning. No, well done. Out of all of our bots tonight, we had some very fun games. And that will do it for day 4. So again, if you want to check out our brackets, everything, you can check out our page on smash.gg. Just look up ProBots 2020 season. There you go. Brackets up right now. So again, big shout out to all our bots. We've got Tier. We've got who all we got here? Tier, Creepy Bot, Alert, Mech Sweep, Harvester, Straylock, Genzi Bot, Spiny, Mad AI, Kagamine, Micro Machine, Antibot, the Cinder Block, Additional Pylons, Three-Way Lover, and Paul. I'm going to turn that into a song, like the state song, but with the bots. And it's going to be great. And that's how you're going to all remember all these awesome bots. 16 bots duking it out for your viewing pleasure. And like the doctor just said, we've got 3 more weeks of this. So definitely be sure to tune in next week and the week after and the week after that. And then after that, we've got the final. So be sure to tune into that as well. We've got a lot of fun content coming up. So hopefully we'll see you all there. Do type in !community to get a lot of up-to-date information. It is our awesome forum there you can check out. You can ask questions. You can post comments. You can talk about some of our content. So definitely give it a little look-see there. Maybe play around with that a little bit. You can also become a Crown Club member, one of the best ways to support ES Champ and future seasons of ProBots, as well as other events, which we do here on ES Champ. You can check out some of our other stuff as well on our videos page. We do, the Compendium Challenge, some live tournament. We're going to do a show match hopefully soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, what else we got? I think that's about it. Doctor, I forget, do you do social media? Are you a follow me person?
I streamed on Twitch recently, so I go under Dr. Shenanigan on Twitch.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, yeah, no,
StarCraft streaming, or what do you do?
StarCraft. I do both StarCraft AI bot development, so I might actually stream that again soon. My stream description says I do it every day at 8 p.m. That is a lie. Do not believe what my stream tells you. Right now it's a schedule of whenever I feel like. But if you follow me, you'll get alerts of when I start streaming. It'll either be me making lots of battle cruisers, playing the game, or me teaching a bot to make lots of battle cruisers. So either way, it'll be a fun time.
Either way, we're gonna see battle cruisers. I'm in.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good.
I can also be found on the StarCraft 2 AI Discord server. And if you have questions about making bots, feel free to hit me up or other community members.
Yeah, great resource, that Discord.
So.
A lot of useful stuff. Cool. Well, hopefully we will see you all next week. That is going to do it for us here on ES Champ. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to be nice to the robots, because one day they're going to take over the world, and it's all starting here on ES Champ. So we'll see you all next time. Have a good night.